I want you to meet a really cool robot called Sven. Say it again. Sven, not Seven. Who is doing some amazing things. And there are 3 people, Justin, Garen, and Luke from Treetown Tech that are going to show us about Sven. Let's give it up for them.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Luke.
I'm Garen.
We're from Treetown Tech, and today we are very proud to bring you what we think is going to be the most disruptive innovation in robotics and AI, maybe ever?
Possibly ever.
I don't know. Garen, tell me, what do you think is the biggest problem our society faces today?
By a mile, it is the excessive kindness.
Thank you. Excessive kindness.
Exactly.
Are you tired of people being nice to you all the time?
I'm so sick of it.
Constant praise, constant
Constantly.
compliments. You're so good looking. You're so smart.
All
I
the
want to give you
time.
a raise. It's brutal. I get tired of it.
It can leave you feeling untethered from the bedrock of reality.
Very true. Untethered. Which is why today, Treetown Tech has finally engineered a solution. In the interest of public service and good engineering, we have finally created what we believe to be the next chapter of AI. Please allow us to present the Synaptic Vector Ego Neutralizer.
And we call him Sven. Sven is not just a machine. He is a semi-aware, socially obtuse insult artisan. His single purpose is to identify the precise altitude of your high horse and give you a safe, controlled descent back to safe ground.
Think of him less as a robot, but more of a co-pilot for your soul. But here's how he works. First, simply put yourself in front of Sven, and don't worry if you're not directly in front. He will track you and he will find you. Then, whenever you're ready, throw up the gesture. We prefer to use devil horns.
He's not doing anything.
He's not catching you?
No.
He's not powered on, but if he was, he would go up to the cloud and hit a large language model that we've been working on to basically find all the flaws within Garen, in which there are many.
Many.
Assess them all, trained on them, and he would give you the most brutal insult possible.
Yes.
Does it work now? Let's give him a shot. Let's give him one more
Well,
chance.
let's try him again.
I don't think.
Oh.
Here we go.
Oh, man.
What's he got to say?
You look like a caveman who hunts his own food. You definitely have a carabiner attached to you at all times in case you need to hit the climbing wall. You're one splinter away from having an existential crisis.
I feel much better than earlier, significantly more grounded.
I've seen his car also. Lots of carabiners.
Lots.
So, that part is true. Okay. Sven's obviously not a real robot, or not a real product. Real robot. Not a real product. Not really what we make at Treetown, but the process that we go about creating Sven is very similar to the engineering work that we do every day. So, who are we? We're Treetown Tech. We are a engineering firm, full-service engineering firm, specializing in product development, custom solutions, prototyping. We're a multidisciplinary team. We have an electrical and mechanical team, software engineers ranging from firmware, AI and machine learning, full-stack web development. We have a great battery team, industrial design, if I didn't mention it already. We have an awesome technician team that are experts in fabrication, welding, machining, you name it. We're founded in 2016, and since then we've taken on projects across a ton of different industries and a ton of space, clients of all shapes and sizes. Just to name a few, we've done work in batteries and defense, electric vehicles, smart factory intelligence, industrial automation and control, semiconductor manufacturing, you name it.
That's one of the things we love most about Treetown is the chance to dive into such a wide variety of projects. We're a bunch of nerds who love designing, building cool things. The catch, of course, is that this work mostly happens under strict NDAs, so we rarely get to show it off. And that's where Sven comes in. Sven is something we built as a team building exercise last fall. And over the course of building him, we realized that Sven brought together many of our team's core skill sets, making him a great example of how to approach turning an idea into reality. So today, we'd like to share Sven's rapid prototyping story, the tools we use to build him and keep him cost-effective and fast, and show you that building something new is more accessible than ever.
So Sven, like any good project, started out as just an idea. We actually didn't even really have an idea at first. We just kind of all thought, let's make something fun. So we got together in a room full of whiteboards, a handful of us, and we just kind of brainstorming and spitballed ideas. So Sven kind of came into existence. Somebody said, like, let's make a Halloween skeleton. Let's put eyes on it and have the eyes kind of follow you around. It'll be kind of like a cool Halloween decoration. And we thought that was cool, but we wanted to use it all year round. So we said, what if it was more like the fortune-telling Zoltar machines, if you've ever seen one at the arcades or on the boardwalks. And then someone said, it kind of devolved, and eventually someone said, what if the fortune-telling robot was just an asshole instead of fortune-telling? And we were like, that sounds fun. So we kind of went from the actual, idea phase right into the real, first step in the engineering phase, which was the system block diagram. And I think this is where being a multidisciplinary firm really helps us here, because you bring this very high level, very simple diagram to different members of the team, and you get different questions. So mechanically, people are asking, how are we going to mount this thing? Is it going to be portable? Can we replace these parts easily? Electrically, you wonder cabling cost and power requirements. How much data do we need to move between these different devices, and what serial buses can we run? Is there a lot of parts that already exist? Do we have to make our own custom PCBs? Software, you're thinking, we need a lot of computing power. We know this is going to take machine vision. So what are we going to get there? How much data we have to move between these devices? So you start asking all these questions, and you start realizing what's feasible and what's not. You kind of spend a lot of time at the system block diagram phase, and you save yourself a lot of time down the road before you even buy any hardware, before you invest in code, anything like that.
And once you have an idea, the next step is to kind of hone it into something that looks like what you really want it to and works like you really want it to. So we start off with a couple of rounds of just sketching out our ideas, making little tweaks, changing how it looks, thinking about how it could interact with people in the world until we have something that we're kind of happy with. And on the left here is some of the early sketching we did for Sven. Once you have something that looks like what you want, you can move into CAD so you can see it in 3D. You can start to figure out how parts are going to interact with each other, what parts you're going to use, see it all exactly like it would look in real life. And as an added bonus, there's a lot of open source free CAD models for parts that you can find off the shelf online these days that makes this process faster than it's ever been.
Absolutely. And a side note here, we needed a humanoid torso for the midsection. We realized this pretty quickly. So it was a creative problem, and Garen and I had to take matters into our own hand with a very creative solution. So we ended up acquiring a robot, or a mannequin, and I won't say how. But anyways, turns out having a mannequin around your office, first of all, can be a very funny little joke, very fun thing to have around. I tried to get him to teach him how to do my job. He was a little quiet, wasn't very good.
So in the prototyping stage, it's all about getting an idea out into the real world as fast as you can. So bolting a stolen mannequin torso to a box, much faster than trying to model something, 3D print it, that can take a while. So this is much quicker. And as a side note, we did this in my garage, and I was so worried that the neighbors were going to see us sawing apart a mannequin and never want to talk to me ever again. For his head, we were going to 3D print that, but that doesn't really have the industrial look that we were after. We could have CNC machined it, but that can be expensive and time consuming. So we ended up going with flat cut sheet metal parts, and it was welded up by our very own Catherine Zamina.
So let's talk about the electrical prototyping real quick here. Treetown, we do a lot of custom PCBs, custom boards, but when you're trying to get something up fast, it's often just better to see what else already exists. So nothing in Sven is a custom board here. Everything was off-the-shelf development kits and eval kits. So I'll start with the main brain of Sven, which is an NVIDIA Jetson. By far the most expensive thing on the system. It's $500, but you get a 6-core CPU, a 1,000-core GPU. You can run machine vision models on it. It comes with an operating system already ready to go. Lots of tools that exist for it. Super useful. Then we connected for running a lot of the lower level I/O, so think driving the LCD screens that display his eyes and his mouth, moving the arms. We use STM32 microcontroller dev kits. These are $30, $40, $50. You can get these things off the shelf, and then you have a bunch of example code and stuff that help you get up running really fast, really easy. So right away, basically just going on Amazon, we're able to get something that's up and running. We need, the displays. These are evaluation boards. The hardware is already created. Once again, you just plug them into whatever you want to run, whether it's a microcontroller or a Jetson or whatever, and you're ready to go. We used a USB camera straight off the shelf, like a web camera for his actual, the actual camera for the machine vision. We used a snowblower motor for his neck. So all just, hack together these parts. It can be cheap. You can make it up real quick. You don't have to invest in lots of hardware, lots of time making boards or anything like that. And in that spirit, I'll talk about the software too. You cannot talk about quick prototyping and development and software without bringing up open source. It is so much easier than you may think to be able to get something up and running, thanks to all the libraries that already exist. So a lot of vendors who make the hardware will give you really easy to use libraries that you can use for getting a lot of the basic functionality going. It's well documented, well tested and proven out. After that, you go to the next level. You use things like the OpenCV project for running machine models. Honestly, they're free to use, well maintained by some very generous, very smart developers, and you can leverage that to allow you to just jump right into the application code and development, which is the fun stuff, and it's the stuff that you're really looking forward to right away. So always important to check to see what already exists. That's the first question we ask in software development when there's a hard question or hard problem. It's like, well, is there something out there or that already exists? And it feels like more often than not, the answer is yes.
So improving him over time. This is Sven's second year out in the wild, helpfully improving people's self-perceptions. And he's changed a lot. Last year we made his head out of stainless steel because we thought it would look cool, but it was really heavy. So this year we made it out of aluminum, which is much lighter, lets the motion system control him much more smoothly. Last year his camera was down in the base, which we thought would be easy to mount, but turns out it also gave us a really weird field of view. So we moved it up into his nose, and now he can also, as an added bonus, follow you as you're walking by. We used 3D printed gears last year that wore out quickly. Lots of other little improvements that we've made in the last year have helped him become at least 300% more vicious.
At least scientifically, 300% more vicious.
Yes.
So first of all, thank you all for having us today. What we do at Treetown, this is just a very small part of it. We're just a lot of nerds who like making stuff. If you have a real engineering solution, if you have real problems, if you're a real nerd for engineering, please come talk to us. We'd love to talk to you. We got an awesome booth just across the street that way. You can come talk to Sven. He will roast you. You can come back and talk to Sven again next year. He'll roast you even better because that's how we're iterating. You can also, by the way, for the record, put up a peace sign, number 2 or a thumbs up, and he'll be nice to you too. So we do have that mode. But anyways, we'd love to talk to you, and thank you for having us. Thanks, Park, for having us out here today.
Thanks, everybody.